This is the EART DMX-10. This is the first time I've ever seen or played an EART electric guitar, and this thing is absolutely beautiful, and it gives you up to 10 unique tones, which I'll cover throughout this video. Let's get into it. Welcome back, folks. This is Shane. In today's video, we're checking out the DMX-10 from the folks at EART Guitars. Is that how you say it? This is the first EART guitar I've had in my hands, and man, it's completely exceeded my expectations. You know, I've seen these online for a long time. I assume like how many people would see like Harley Benton guitars. If you've never picked one up, you probably go, how good is it? It's really good. It's maybe the best guitar at its price point I've played. So this comes in at $839 US at the time of filming. It came with a beautiful gig bag, a fresh set of strings and premium upgrades, including stainless steel frets, a roasted maple neck, 2 humbuckers, 10 different tones thanks to the smart switching system here, a floating trem that actually works. We've got gold locking tuners, and it's an absolute pleasure to play. Some of these specs and features don't really matter unless the guitar actually plays great. And I've got no complaints with the playability on this. The frets are so nice, the fret edges are great. It's set up beautifully out of the box, and if you like to play further up the neck like this, it's really easy thanks to the neck access and the contoured heel back here. So yeah, it's a very playable guitar. Now, I kind of compare this to my old Charvel that I had. I actually prefer the neck on this. It's a little chunkier, so if you're not a fan of those like micro thin necks, you'll get a kick out of this. And it's not too fat though. It's not like a 50s neck or anything like that. But as soon as I picked this up, I thought, oh man, this is kind of reminiscent of my Kiesel electric guitar. There's a lot of parallels there in terms of how they feel and how they play and all that kind of stuff. Now while EART have sponsored this video and they sent this out to the channel, all thoughts are my own, and I'll give you my thoughts about it at the end, because there's one thing about this that I want to investigate later in the video. So stay tuned for that. If you want to check this out, I'll link it in the description box. All right, let's make some noise. Here we go. All right, let's kick it off now. Being that this guitar has 10 different options when it comes to its pickup configuration, I'm going to start just by showcasing the humbucker tones, the straight up humbucker tones, both clean and dirty. And then we'll get over to everything else. So let's start on the neck pickup here. And I'm plugged into the Peavey Bandit Redstripe, mic'd up with an AEA N22 Ribbon Mic. Here we go. So there's a big difference between each of those three positions. Now the neck pickup has that really great sort of glassy lead pickup tone. So what I'll do, I'll just turn on the left side of the Royal Flush here, play some lead, neck pickup. still got the tops, but it's got a nice sort of full sound, whereas both pickups has the combination, obviously, of both pickups, a little less bass, but brighter. And bridge is the attitude bringer. That's also a really great sort of classic rock rhythm sound. And now with a little bit more gain for that sort of chunky rhythm guitar stuff. This is bridge pickup. Woo! All right. Now let's cover positions 2 and 4. So in position 2 here, it's using the outer coil on both humbuckers, and in position 4, we're using the inside coils, which gives us a warmer tone. So let's have a listen to this. I've added a little bit of delay. This is still dead clean though. So you get a very sort of stratty tone, but again, it's buzz free, which is pretty cool. One of the things this guitar does really well is emulate either a Strat or a Telecaster, and it does this by using this toggle switch over here. So positions 2 and 4 are basically just utilizing one of the coils on each pickup. So this is the neck pickup tone. It's one of my favorite tones on the guitar. Beautiful. And over to bridge. Now this gets brighter, but it still sounds really nice. Now if you want to add a bit of drive, you can. It's going to sound great. Ooh. And back to the neck. Yeah. Now there's 3 other positions on here, and this first one sounds great. So this is bridge pickup with essentially a buzz-free experience, but a single coil kind of sound. Now if you turn down, very bluesy, I really like that. Over to the neck position. It rolls out just a hair too much tops for my liking, but if I just turn up the treble control on the pedal, it's going to sound great. Yeah, so if you're a blues player, this will definitely work. And we've got my least favorite position on here, which is the middle position. And this kind of sounds a little too out of phase for me, but if you're playing clean, it also has a similar sort of, it's too rolled out in the highs and it has too much low end. Yeah, it's not my kind of tone, but this bridge pickup one, I absolutely love it. All right, lastly, what I'm gonna do is just crank on the drive and get a big lead guitar solo tone. So let's do it. For this section, I'm just gonna be using the bridge and neck pickup, and I've got both sides of the Royal Flush on with some delay, just because. Here we go. And it doesn't even fret out. That's awesome. That's great. Let's wrap this up. I'm going to sort of frame this by talking about other guitars, either in my collection or guitars I've played over the years. If I didn't know that this was under $1,000 US, I would assume it's way more. This is one of those brands I saw on YouTube a lot, and I thought, oh man, the name. What's with the name? That's the first thing. I was like, EART. It's kind of strange, but they've done something pretty special here. Now, I have a Kiesel guitar, which is probably 2.5 times more expensive than this. And this is a very similar playing experience thanks to this beautiful neck and stainless steel frets. I'm not saying that this is a better guitar than that, but it's very good. I would say this is better than most, if not all of the Squiers I've reviewed over the years. It's in a completely different league. You're getting premium fret upgrades here. The fret edges are beautiful. This neck is in a class of its own. It's kind of, again, similar to much more expensive guitars like Vola. We've got the gold locking tuners here as well, which is great, and a floating trem system that works. You can pop this out nice and simply, and it's a very simple configuration when it comes to the volume and tone control here. Now, what might not be for everybody is the way that the pickup selection is kind of laid out. It's a little confusing. I would have much preferred this to have been sort of like a 3-position guitar, so neck, both, and bridge in humbucker mode, and then flip the switch and maybe get some split coil tones that way. But they went for 10 different tones. So if you're into 10 different tones, it's great. Where I think this really shines is, though, if you've got the toggle switch up, just live around those sort of split coil sounds in that mode rather than the humbucker mode, because like all humbuckers versus different coils getting used, there is a perceivable volume drop between having it in, say, position 1, which is straight up humbucker, and position 2, which is using, you know, the coils on both of these. You will notice a perceivable volume drop. It was quite, you know, prominent in the room. So just keep that in mind. It's not to say that it sounds bad. It's just that sometimes when something's not as loud as something else, you tend to think the louder one sounds better. So there's a bit of that going on. Now, in terms of blemishes and marks, there's only one small mark on the back of the neck here, and that's it. It's built really well. The nut feels like it's nice and smooth on the edges, which can't be said for a lot of more expensive and well-known brands. So they've really nailed that. Now, there is only one other thing with this guitar that's driving me crazy. I want to know what that is, so let's open it up. Let's see if we can find the cause of that rattle. Now, it definitely sounds like something's loose. I'm not sure if there's a piece of solder in there or something like that or whatever, but I just want to get it out of here because it sounds like someone dropped a pick in there, like on an acoustic guitar. It's got to be in here. I almost took this one off first. As you can see, it wasn't a huge problem. It was just a little piece of solder here, or solder as the Americans say. So yeah, nice and easy to fix. I think this guitar is best suited for someone who wants a guitar that can pretty much cover everything without breaking the bank. It's great for blues, high gain stuff, and if you like to shred, it'll be a great guitar for that. The 24 frets makes it nice and playable, and it is nice and easy to get all the way up the fretboard. I actually prefer the neck on this over my old Charvel, which was the Pro Sandemus or something like that, I think it was called. And yeah, the neck on this just kills it. It's way better for guys with bigger hands. It's not quite as thin. And if you're into guitars with a slightly thicker neck, I think you'll get a kick out of this. But a massive thanks to the guys from EART for sending this out. I really appreciate it. And if you've got one of these, congrats. It's a killer guitar. You'll be seeing this a lot more coming up on the channel. Thanks for watching.